Feeling good?
Oh, you put that thing on the
So you see how we do it here on Saturday. This is what it's missing. You see how we do it here on Saturday. This is what it's missing.
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time, like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch. Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
People even calling me, asking me about him, you know, and I don't know him from a can of paint. He even mentioned my name, saying that I know what I know. I don't know what he knows, but I do know this.
The amazing incident that just occurred has left everyone in shock. Think about this. Jay-Z, who is known for his total calm and unflinching self-control, suddenly revealed his emotions in public. No headline, no rumor. Nothing had prepared the audience for such a shift. The often unflappable figure exhibited unadulterated honesty, akin to seeing a legend remove their armor for the first time. The real mystery remains unresolved, although everyone in the city is talking about it. He reached that critical point, but why? What's going on beneath those familiar hues? There is little question that a far more profound story is simply waiting to be told.
And it seems to make a lot of people upset, you know, but then a lot of people love my opinion. That's why you bring me on here. And I really appreciate that, brother. I just want to say this before we get started, Art, is that, you know, a lot of people think I came here to bring a black man down. And that's what I hear in the comments a whole lot. But it was nothing like that. You know, a black man didn't cuss a dead man's mother out. A black man didn't set his friends up and put them in a situation where they couldn't come home to their families no more. A black man didn't reach back and help the people that helped them make it up the ladder. It was Puffy. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, you know, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an asshole. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, you know, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bruh, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that, because back then, he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So, his behavior over the years.
People are starting to realize that Jay-Z's current situation is the result of strain that has built up over the course of a lifetime, rather than just a bad day. And the burden of coming from the Mary projects never quite goes away, regardless of how many honors you get or how far you ascend. The mental strain of living and mastering one of the most challenging businesses in the world is beyond the comprehension of most people. For years, quiet whispers implied that underneath the gleaming surface, there were cracks brought on by stress, expectations, and the responsibility of preserving an ever-expanding legacy. The heated elevator incident involving Solange was, for many, the first tangible sign that something more significant was happening behind closed doors. Because underneath the calm exterior, a long-brewing storm has been waiting to erupt.
About Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. Right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
So let me ask you, because I look at Gabriel Union, and when you mention things like Jay-Z's time is coming for him, then I look at Beyonce. And I say that, women do have
that country album, and any of you that buy that shit stupid as shit.
You don't give it no
trap music with goddamn a host of.
Despite the tremendous strain, many want to believe that living with well-known royalty is simple. Therefore, let's talk about Beyonce. And being linked with a powerhouse like her means juggling 3 children, a worldwide company, constant cameras, and a public that demands flawless perfection every single day. That's hardly a glamorous existence. That constant balancing act has no room for mistake. In addition, no one in the entertainment business takes a vacation to look after you. You're meant to stay firm no matter what. Even symbols, however, feel the weight. Jay-Z's actions could have been the tipping point for someone who had been carrying too much for too long rather than a weakness at all. Finally, the history, the notoriety, and the expectations all fell apart at once.
Sick. Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that hell. Remake that. Stand by that. That's a real country hit. Jolene, nice, but it has a ring to it. Stand by your man, yeah. Whoops you and disrespects you with other like Kathy Coriana White.
All right, well, let's do it like
this. Who was actually carrying his baby while you was faking it. Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else. Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
A half of which dumbass bitch.
So, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept that bitch?
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her while she was asleep. snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her a restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know?
And maybe, just maybe, this was the shift Jay-Z needed. Sometimes you can't rise back up stronger and more focused until you've reached your breaking point in life. Because there's more to those recognizable sunglasses than simply appearance. Years of pressure, responsibility, and unimaginable circumstances that the world can never fully understand. This should not be seen as a collapse, however. It is more akin to a reset or page turn, the beginning of a new age that might fundamentally alter everything. Without a question, everyone will be watching him closely to see what he does next.
Why did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day, within the week?
The next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
So, let me ask you.
Texas politics.
Yeah, Texas politics, man. It's that right there. We're gonna talk about the episode, but for right now, I just got to get your take on when we see a Killer Mike win 3 Grammys
and get arrested immediately after because Jay-Z paid somebody up just so he couldn't have a good night. You, Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. Don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you.
The moment Jay-Z's breakdown surfaced online, everything fell apart. One spark seemed to light up the whole digital cosmos. Within minutes of the video becoming viral, the whole city was in a frenzy. Celebrities added words of encouragement. Everyone, including business leaders and longtime friends. Twitter took off. Trying to keep up with Instagram's overflow almost caused TikTok to melt. Some were affected, some were incredulous, while other skeptics unavoidably tried to paint it as a shrewd strategy. Regardless of the ideas, however, one thing was clear. The whole globe stopped to watch, and nobody could go.
Hey. Wow. Wow.
I'ma tell everybody about Big L, Sean.
Big L?
I would just rather do it on the stand, Sean. Please sue me. I want to go to court. And I want to talk about Big L on the stand.
Wow. What's your thoughts about Dame Dash?
Dame Dash got fucked over by somebody who was supposed to be his friend.
So this Big L is associated.
Big L is the one that put Jay-Z on.
Wow.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive.
Wait, so this Big L person is not living on this earth no more?
He's been dead for years.
His death made it possible for reasonable doubt to live.
Whoa.
See how good I keep secrets, Sean?
You would think that Jay-Z's employees would have swooped in and taken over the whole affair as soon as the video became viral. When they did speak, it was the same well-crafted message about privacy and personal matters, but it left everyone wanting something real. The industry reacted immediately, even in this fictitious situation, as if all of the major hip-hop personalities took a moment to express their solidarity. The whole society, which has always regarded him as untouchable, seemed to be protecting him. When a guy known for his unflinching coldness suddenly displays sensitivity, and it's almost unbelievable. It's like a superhero flaunting their fragility. This incident, according to others, makes him more personable and shows that even well-known individuals are under strain. Some think it would reduce the roughness that made him famous. In any event, one thing is undeniable. The narrative just took a big turn.
Now we're a little more educated because of the talk shows with Oprah that we went through, and Dr. Phil and stuff like that. Even Ricky Lake and all of that. We realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young ladies. I never had an attraction for someone younger. I always looked and had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. But then everybody that I fucked with did. Everybody. All of them. No names mentioned yet. But I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Y'all remember Fox Brown and Jay? Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, ooh, that shit. Him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot. That it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. I don't know if they were beating it up on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, it took like a year before those songs came out. And then Nelly's song with the Link St. Louis Ticks. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. And so, all of these guys and the underage young ladies was running rapid in the 90s. And so, that's all I remember. That's all I think about, you know, with the DeBarge and Janet Jackson situation. That's all I think about, and I can remember about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was my wife's favorite artist. She loved the hell out of Aaliyah. It was a tragic how she died. You know, trying to rush back to get to Damon Dash on the plane. You know, and what happened is the Bahamians let her fly out, and their plane was overloaded or full. That's the one thing that I didn't like about when I traveled to our black countries like the Bahamas and Jamaica and all of them. The officials there, we used to have to bribe them $100 to make the rules pass, to let us in with the dogs that we didn't have properly claimed, or you know, the not search our bags or whatever, or to sneak away with a whole bunch of cigars and stuff like that. But in Mexico, one thing about the motherfucking Mexican authorities, that number used to be 5 G's, 5,000 and stuff like that. And I used to laugh. I was like, damn, black folks is easily bribable. They so cheap. They don't understand the value that they be having. But yeah, that's all I got on Aaliyah, really. It's a talent. That's another person that life was taken too soon. That was a talent. Wonder where she would be now. Her
At the moment, no beat can match the strength of true desire. Maybe Jay-Z's fictitious breakdown is precisely the candor the audience has been craving. Despite decades of challenges, disagreements, stress, and public outrage, he has persisted. However, this moment seems heavier and far more personal than anything else in his experience. It's a shockwave, but it also seems like the start of something big. Furthermore, the story does not finish here. The streets are full with inquiries. Like, will Jay speak out and share his story? Will Beyoncé end the silence? Amid all this chaos, whispers in this imaginary world suggest that a major project is already starting to take form. No one wants to miss the next installment, so be ready because it's coming up soon.
It was almost as if Michael Bivins was like having like PTSD from New Edition being a child star and said, I'm gonna find some real talented guys.
Do this again.
And I'm gonna fuck them over worse than we did. So we can say it happened to somebody else.
That's PTSD for you. Like, we're gonna make them relive it. Make them relive it. God damn.
Why would you do that to another artist?
Yeah.
Why would you sit there and say, man, we had the #1 record and we were still on food stamps, and then force your group to do that?
Hey, man.
Why would you do that?
Be your own people.
You want to know how fucked off it was for Big Mike at the end of his run before he had to leave Boyz II Men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Let me tell you how bad his finances had gotten after his wife ran through what lump sum of money they had on that god-awful soul food restaurant that lacked soul and promptness. 6 hours to get a turkey wing platter. 6 hours. We used to call it opening to get it in time for dinner. Get your order in as soon as they open if you want to have it by 6. That was the joke around Voorhees.
Jeez.
Jill bought their house. She got it cheap. It would have been a $750,000 home back then, but they were forced to knock $250,000 off the top because of the structural damage. Apparently, they weren't able to take care of that home. It was riddled with termites. Said the only thing holding it up was the paint. They needed the money, so Jill squeezed. And they sold that house for very much more than $400,000 less what it was worth. And they broke even. Is it the way you hate me, baby? That was my cousin Alma that sang that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. The apple don't fall far.
Oh, you don't want to diss me.
The apple don't fall far.
You don't want to diss me.
Yeah.
I know you. Bitch. Wait a second. Did you hear what I just said? Michael Bivins fucked over Boyz II Men, and when Big Mike got sick, apparently there wasn't enough money available to help them through their hard times.
That's how it goes.
They didn't even promote that soul food restaurant. I mean, I can understand why it was some nigga shit, but maybe if they had got some real help, maybe they could have hired somebody to come in and help manage it. But no, they had to be a self-ran business because they...
But here's the real twist. This event is about more than just Jay-Z in our tale. It's initiating a much broader discussion about hip-hop. For many years, the culture has been built on toughness, confidence, and unflinching swagger. Artists are trained to wear this kind of armor from the very beginning. But there are still real people behind the bold energy, real people with real weight. Artists have recognized the emotional toll, exhaustion, and strain of consistently exhibiting resilience in both fictional and real-life situations. And it feels like the armor is finally slipping off as Jay-Z lowers his defenses at this point in the story. This is not just celebrity drama. The culture itself has undergone alteration. Because when someone at his level shows weakness, it sends a message to admirers throughout the globe. Maybe, like the giant in this tale, you can ask for assistance when you're feeling overwhelmed.
Jill Scott, who was also an artist and knew how bad that family was struggling and took that as an opportunity to get a very, very large-scale home in a lovely, lovely white Jewish neighborhood for cheap. I mean, I'm just like, you could have said, I know you guys don't want to walk away from your home, but at least let me pay you full value because I got the money and I want to see y'all be okay. She knew they were going to have to forfeit on that mortgage, and she squeezed. She was kinder to that damn dog.
Oh man, Putter, what's his name?
Flutter, yeah.
Putter, yeah.
You gave the dog an idiot name, and you wonder why he's shedding your shoe. The fuck is Flutter? What does that mean?
Yeah,
Oh, it's the sound his feet make. That's your fault, bitch. You named him nothing. How you gonna? Flutter, I used to hate that shit, and he hated kids, and he barked at people's feet. Like, he was fucked up.
Oh man.
I can see why Lizelle says she shouldn't make no babies.
Oh man.
I mean, that was her husband.
So,
He should have known her best.
yeah, let me
She
say
wrote a whole
this.
song about it. It was a hit record. Want to hear it?
It's not for rich. Oh shit.
Turn on a black radio station on Sunday where they sell bullshit all the time.
Jack, I want to ask.
Nothing progressive.
I have to say, most people that watch our interviews or your interviews as of late, the main question that comes up is, how does she know? Was she there? So
Yeah.
I want to do it like this. I'm gonna name some names.
Sure.
And I want to know, were you around them?
Sure.
I would like to start for what everybody knows is Jay-Z.
What about him?
Okay.
Both of them were with Mr. Carter. Ask me what you want to know and I'll answer what I can.
Let's just start with the base level. Business, personal.
Both.
Both.
And spiritual.
And spiritual. Okay.
We believe in the same power. We don't believe in appropriating it the same way.
Can I ask you this? For you, did you find joy in the business or pleasure? And when you answer that, I'm gonna flip it on him. Do you feel he found joy in the business or pleasure part of that? Or spiritual?
He is the most shameful thing I've ever done. There is nothing that I experienced with that person that has not inspired shame except for Unplugged. That was the purest moment. For me, it was all done in love for music, love for all that was there, love for the culture. I hate the fact that we did it all for a culture vulture. For someone who never truly had the capacity to appreciate that moment in time, to steal it from the masses, to hide it, to cloak it. I put it up on Philadelphia last year when we launched. You know how many people came to the network to see that show that they never got to see? You know what's great about this year? I still got the footage.
There you go. There you go.
And in 1 week, Jay-Z Unplugged, the actual whole concert, from beginning to end, will be viewed and able to be viewed on RealJack.com. Come and see the history. Come and see the power of that moment, the amazing things that we did with our bodies and our minds and our spirits. There was not one person in that room that was not elevated that night, and everyone in that.
Now let's stand back and look at the big picture. A lot of people are calling Jay-Z's role in this story a pivotal moment, a shift big enough to affect the whole industry. Maybe this is the moment for more rappers to let go of their untouchable image and talk candidly about the weight they've been carrying. Significant change, however, will need time. Openness is still seen unfavorably by a whole generation, and especially by the traditionalists who are watching all of this with skepticism. Even if it is moving slowly and visibly, the tide is still flowing. The significance of mental health, in addition to physical resilience, is becoming more widely recognized. And perhaps, just possibly, this is what upcool hip-hop has long needed, if this fabricated public moment is what it takes to increase the acceptance of that truth.